Hey, welcome to New Start Discipleship, day number 6. I'm excited to share with you today from John chapter 5. Okay, so John chapter 5, here's what you're going to notice in John chapter 5. This is about Jesus' miracles and Jesus' authority. Okay, authority, what I mean is that in the spiritual world, he has power and right to command. Okay, he has right to command. He's God. Now, a lot of times you'll see people in our world today who say that Jesus was kind of like a guru, like he was a powerful teacher. He had great things. He taught us to love one another, but he wasn't. I don't accept Jesus' claim to be God or believe he was that. I just think he was a great teacher that taught us how to be with one another. But Jesus never opened up that possibility. He just didn't. Now, he was a teacher, but he was far more than a teacher, and he always claimed to be that. In fact, just a good teacher would have never claimed the things that Jesus claims. Let's take a look at it, all right? In John chapter 5, you're going to first read a story about Jesus healing a man and giving him authority, giving him healing, who had been lame for 30 plus years, okay, for a long time. And then Jesus was doing this on the Jewish Sabbath, the Jewish day of rest. And there were a lot of Jewish traditions about what you can't do on the Sabbath. And they were mad that he was healing people on the Sabbath, which is kind of mind-blowing to you and me. But was the climate, the religious climate at the time. And they were mad because Jesus was doing these things. And Jesus says, I have a right to do this stuff. I have authority. And so I want you to notice several things that Jesus says. First, he says, I don't do anything by myself. In other words, he's always in unity with his Father in heaven. God the Father and God the Son has come down, if you recall. And he says that I am always in unity with my Father in heaven. Now, I want you to notice some of the things that he claims for himself. Look at verse number 21. Just as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, even so the Son gives life to whom he is pleased to give it. Wow. So Jesus claims to be able to give life, to be in charge of spiritual life and physical life. Resurrection, he can do that. He's like, there's nothing too hard for me for that. He claims to be able to raise people from the dead. Wow. That's not a good teacher terminology. That's like, I'm God terminology. In verse 24, he says, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life. And he says, I'm telling you, a time is coming, verse 25, where the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. Wow. He's saying, there's coming a day, I'm going to raise up the dead, and they're going to come out of the grave. Good teachers don't say that. Only God can say that. He's a liar or he's God come in the flesh. Because there is no good teacher in this situation. He's nuts or he's just telling the truth. All right? Verse 28, there's coming a time when all those who are in the graves will hear his voice and come out. Wow. Now look at this verse number 23. This is a key verse here. That all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. And this is very important. Because maybe you've seen Jehovah's Witnesses going and knocking on people's doors, and they'll come and tell you that Jesus is a great person, but he's not God. That we don't honor him the same way we honor the Father. But Jesus says, God has given all this, the Father has given all this authority to me as his co-equal, so that everyone may honor me just as they honor the Father. Now, no good teacher says this, right? No good teachers do this where you got to honor me just as you honor God. No, that's not a good teacher. That is more than a good teacher. It's got to be. Jesus didn't leave that door even cracked open to be like, yeah, he's a good teacher. No. So instead, what you're reading here is the authority of the Son of God who has all power. And I'm so excited about that. I'm so glad about that because God has granted to Jesus has, as God, authority over all things. So let's get started. Day number 6. Write down your questions. Contact your mentor. Write down what you're thankful for. Pray. Spend some time talking with the Lord. And let's keep it moving. God bless you.